You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast. Oh, did he start the recording?
You did, yeah.
You did. I got the
Okay.
notification. I see the
Oh,
little
yeah,
red button.
27 seconds. We did 27 seconds ago. Already flown out my
Red
brain.
lights on, Brian. Red lights on.
So good luck remembering the episode.
You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and cough with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Happy New Year.
And it's me, Brian, who just tested negative for the second time in 3 days. The middle day, he was still testing positive for COVID. And I've had that for a fortnight. And the cough is probably going to linger for another 4 weeks, I would guess. So let's see how much I can get through the fortnight of anime that aired December the 16th to December the 29th, with a couple of exceptions. Akuma-kun, episode 7, Human. I forgot to write that.
Dirty politicians.
Yes, so we got...
In this case, like a good politician who unfortunately has dirty connections that he can't let it get out, and therefore murder. Yeah.
Also, he's a demon. So we got to hold that against him as well.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
do we? Or should we?
Yeah. There's a guy, a politician. He's just made it into the cabinet, but he's being blackmailed by his personal secretary.
A real shady piece of shit who likes sweets. Ooh, the bastard! What a jerk!
I thought it was just like, a secretary in a sense that this is your like hookup from the Yakuza who's been like for giving you all the money to get this far. It felt like to me. Well,
yeah, but like his actual thing he has on him is like, oh, you wouldn't want this picture to leak to the public, would you? Know? And it's a picture of the guy's tattoo, ostensibly, but also massive fucking scar up along his arm, which is kind of like, what's the deal with that big scar, and also that I presume a cult symbol on his arm. Yeah.
We never find out because you will find out because I'm about to turn into a monster and strangle you. That's my secret.
Yes, because I was fine with you blackmailing me, but you insulted my dad, and that's when I lost control. And turns out the victim had hired the services of Akuma-kun and Mephisto III in order to investigate this symbol. They'd been given a cut-off version of the photo. And so the cop is super excited to see them, that they've shown up at this crime scene, because he's a big fan of their detective skills.
It means I don't gotta do nothing. Just solve it in 5 minutes like you always do.
Like, I assume this guy isn't from the prior Akuma-kun, but he has interacted with these detective agents before. It's just like, oh, fantastic. They solved the crime for me.
I know we're on Netflix, but we've only got a half hour to do it, so chap. No ads.
And they figure it out because while he appeared to be in his room for 3 days after the point at which he was murdered, it's mentioned that he's got an allergy to, he's got EpiPens because he's allergic to, they mentioned two dishes that he avoids. And then we've got video of him eating crepes, but when the boys go down to check out this restaurant because it serves some of the best hotcakes in the world, both Japan and worldwide hotcake magazines have recommended it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know they were so involved, but I guess they're a recommended official institution, yes.
Mephistopheles tries to, like, he's ordering quick off the menu because he was more so berating Akuma-kun, so he's just like, I'll have the galettes, and then your one's like, there's no galettes on the menu there, and
no, there's no crepes on the menu.
Sorry, there's no crepes on the menu.
What they do have is like the next best thing, a galette. Well, yeah, sure, it's just a basic pancake, right? No, it's made with different kind of flour. Like, he would never order or eat because it would fucking kill him.
But the way the cartoon does it, it does it in a way that it gives you the chance, the viewer, to figure this out, because you don't hear that conversation. You just see Akuma points to the menu saying, "This is what you want."
Yeah.
So then the TV detective at home can go, what's similar to what would have looked like a crepe, but wasn't a crepe? Hang on a second, that's the thing that he's allergic to.
Yeah, if only Akuma-kun, I knew my sweets. If only I remember of the Hockey Association, I could have cracked this one.
Like the thing of it being a demon who strangled a man to death for revealing to the public that this demon politician was in fact a demon. It's just standard like murder mystery. It's like, but how could he have been seen 2 days later? And it's like, and I think the explanation they give to the regular humans is he's a master of disguise. Is like he's a demon. He can fucking shapeshift.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Not just a demon, he's a Frankenstein, and of course Akuma when Mustafa.
Oh, I was so mad at him. Oh, I hate that. I hate that fucking thing.
But his pedantry, about what is and isn't a pancake or a crepe or whatever like that, won the day. So you gotta give him this one.
If Frankenstein, the doctor, makes a monster and the monster refers to him as father, then he would be Frankenstein Jr., like in the cartoon. So he would be Frankenstein.
Cool
so
robot.
shut up, Akuma Gun, you fucker.
You can't feel too bad for the guy because this is the way his life turned out, man.
Yeah, they send Gremory in to investigate, and he murders her as well.
Because she also attempts to blackmail him exactly the same way as like, I knew your secretary and he shared some information with me that I think you're going to want to get me a job for, because other than that I'll leak it to the public.
Not again. Why don't you keep happening to me? Could keep insulting your dad because you love him, and that's where you got into this game in the first place, because you found him, you were a baby that's scared of that cult. And
yeah, and his things as a politician isn't I'm going to take over the world and do a bunch of evil. It's like, oh, I got to take care of orphans, like I was taken care of by my dad, and just like, yeah, he really sorted me out. And so Akuma-kun gives him an ultimatum. It's like, you can either like murder your way out of the situation, you could kill all of us in this room right now like a demon, or you could be like a human and go by human laws and get arrested for murdering that guy. And he's like,
I think Akuma thinks he's going to behave like a demon.
Yeah,
he's got another one of these moral bets on Mephisto about fucking like, they're bad humans, that there's also good demons then. So which is like, better, like the badness of humans or the goodness of demons, which one went out?
Yeah, because he's clearly talking about his own dad, not not this guy's dad when he's having these conversations.
And there's other lines earlier where you hear him say to Mephistopheles, it's like, well, you wouldn't know, you're only half demon. You wouldn't know how a demon feels. And it seems to be like a slight at him being a half breed. And it's like, it's probably because Akuma-kun is full fucking demon is why he's mentioning it like that. Well, that kind of thing.
Also, well, they mentions he was raised by demons.
But that he has more of an affinity for demons than Mephistopheles, who was, while his dad's a demon, he was raised like in a house, like as a regular guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Mephistopheles is say, the apostles they help your dad out. Akuma, it's like, yeah, but they get something out of the Millennium as well. They're in it for themselves, really.
There's no such thing as altruism, Mephisto. Who should know this? But Akuma-kun, we are doing altruism for the community. No, we're not.
And then we see that our meddling angel is broken into the family home and is complaining that the ocarina hasn't eyes haven't emerged from it or something.
Eyes would pop out, I suppose, maybe. One thing you wouldn't want to put your lips on, or fingers or anything.
And that's where we leave it. Now, I like this episode in terms of its story. I did watch a bit of the dub. It's nowhere near as good as both in terms of the script and in terms of the performance.
Yeah. And as the standard problem is, I think on this one you're getting the dub subtitles rather than the subtitles from the original.
Oh no, because I was saying that was why I checked it out, because I.
Okay.
I had the Japanese. I had the English translation of the Japanese on, and it was significantly different to the dub. To the point where I was like, "Oh, I don't like the dub. I'm going to go back to the Japanese."
Because I was noticing that, like, there was a thing with Mephistopheles goes like, he goes like senator or something like that, and but in the dub it's like, Senator, I believed in you, and it's like he didn't fucking say that. I can hear him in Japanese. He said one word. Yeah, and I was just like,
Okay. You might have
I might have the wrong one on. Yeah, I'll have to double check.
Yeah. no, Netflix is generally pretty good at having 2 separate English tracks.
They know people check these things. They don't want
and they're also very
in
good
public
at having, I think, at least an audio description track in the language that it was originally produced in. I think all of their own productions, they put that bit of accessibility on there. Then we've got Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, episode 6. Who did it?
Who done it?
Try to figure out who did it, but also Goose and Lucas ruin Julie's house
and become best friends.
Yo, have a great hour and a half in that place. You got Mario Kart, from tooling around on the stairs, making they're making their patented moon waffle. Escape up on the half pipe right in the sitting room. I can't escape, but you'll show me.
Paint gun fight. Where they get all this shit within an hour and a half is amazing. But I did like that as the opening bit, and then in the episode we see is like, what were the actual plot related characters doing in this point? It's like, well, they were discussing the plot and various machinations, but it's a funny way to present it. And also it's just like, again, humanizes the evil exes in the way that no other version is done. It's nice.
It was like, with Gordon / Gideon, it's just like, he's just like, this has been this assured guy was fun to take over the ball, and saying, yeah, he kind of was to an embarrassing degree. Like, he was fucking like the haircut and the call. He just had no fucking vision of himself. He was always that kind of weirdly confident. So that's kind of an admirable quality of him. But they turned it towards evil, so maybe we can put him back. Because he hasn't been watching anime and eating pizza and drinking beer all week. He's been plotting. Watching season 12 of fucking...
Of Will They, Won't They, basically, yeah.
My boyfriend is such a jerk, but I love him, really.
Yeah, we get a discussion with Ramona and Julie about Julie's annoyed that she wanted an evil boyfriend, but this guy's... the evil quickly wore off him, and now he's just a loser. And the Roman says, "Yeah, you might just be putting that on. He might be secretly plotting something," which is the payoff at the end of the episode. But yes, apparently he has been secretly plotting something.
I think it's like, is he secretly plotting something, or is that way to stay in Julie's good graces?
I mean, yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that will help him not get kicked out, basically, if he is secretly plotting. Yeah.
I think the other thing you get in this, particularly this episode, but all through the series, is like, you take Scott out and then you see like how ambitious Knives is.
Yeah,
can also learn the piano, play the piano readily.
I presume that based on is like, have you been practicing the piano for more than 4 hours or whatever the hell? And it's just like, I presume she was trained in piano earlier in her life at some point, but it's kind of like Knives is very much so, and I hate using the term because that's not what fucking happened, but Yoko owning the band. Because she's very like directing where they're going, what they pitched to get.
It's mostly just her and Steven, really, I guess.
But Steven is like going along for the ride, like he's going along with it. Because what they pitched to Patel is like a musical, because that would exactly fit in. It's like, a musical starring me, absolutely, I'll be all behind that. And it's like,
I think he's going along with it though, also because he's got somebody who's willing to write songs with him rather than half-ass it, like Scott.
No, like he's genuinely like, yeah, like he is interested. She's there to like work with him, where Scott comes in, does the bass, leaves. Like, he doesn't actually work with the band.
You see, he likes the idea of being in the band, because you can say to the chicks, "Hey, I'm a kick-ass band, don't you know?"
Because I think that was the case in the film, where they realized that young Neil actually is a better bassist, because like he's there helping out. That takes a lot. That actually adds a lot to the band. Yeah.
And it's through this season we also get the revelation that they realize that he didn't write the script. It was not his paralysis demon.
Oh dear.
And they find something very important in the script that they must tell Ramona, and then they go through the rest of the episode and they almost forget to tell her until the very end.
Because she's putting it all together upon saying it all comes back to from across everybody up on the list and saying, what could possibly like make a vegan portal? It wasn't Todd. But what about something that was completely devoid of nutrition altogether? That's right, a vegan robot.
I was laughing pretty hard at that. Yeah.
Of course, it's so simple. It wouldn't eat milk or dairy. It wouldn't eat anything. You can make perfect vegan portals wherever it needs to go to, at a moment's notice. And who do we know who knows how to make robots? Or whose do we know that can also make robots? That's right, it's the twins. It can only be them.
Like when she's showing the video at the end of where she'd seen that robot before. She's completely failing to notice the twins in disguise.
Yeah, that was a
shots in the video.
They have very wonderful fake beards and glasses that are totally disguising them. And also, loads of people point out, even freaking Luke Lee turns out is his real name. Big reveal.
My God.
He says I saw that robot. He was on the movie set. It's like everyone has seen this robot at some point. It's not doing a good job of hiding.
The show has made a point to show it running away from being spotted every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's figured out it's the twins. They did it by this. But they're like, where's Scott? Well, it turns out he's on their doorstep. But this is after they've revealed that about the script is that the file on the machine, on the computer, was dated 14 years in the future.
Whoa, I didn't know computers could even do that.
I was trying to time it, and I was like, is that when the script for this was written, basically?
Yes, and Scott's on the doorstep, and apparently it was him. He did it. That's your cliffhanger.
But Scott, you're not a vegan robot. That doesn't fit in with the MO.
She was set up to be the patsy.
So 2 more episodes to explain how this all battles out.
Because what's he been doing all this time?
Yeah, I wonder if it's him who kidnapped himself, a future version of himself.
Would he be so crass as to let's do something like this? We could see who will come to his funeral.
Well, I wonder if it's the future version of the character from either the book or the movie.
Or the guy who went through the growth of being a shitty character, realizing he's shitty and trying to be a better person, is like, what if I didn't have that? What if I didn't have that opportunity? What would happen to everyone else around me?
If he after the end of the movie he's gone on to mess everybody's lives up and he's trying to prevent that by
eliminating himself?
Yes.
Yeah, could be.
We shall see.
There's lots of fun things it could be, and so far it's been a really great retelling of the story with wildly different results, basically.
Yeah. Because I missed that episode again. I missed it there again. There's a little thing she does where Maud always kind of she's always trying to her different girls, but it's just okay, Ron, new suspect, it's a new case, we'll probably do kind of fucking genre of episode we're going to do about you. So I'm washing the hair, putting the color in, it's going to match this. I just kind of like that little recurring bit in it.
For reused animation, it's a nice signifier that she isn't gearing up into a different mindset or a different way of it. Yeah. And it's a nice kind of consistent thing throughout it. Yeah.
Then we got Spy Family, episode 36, and episode 37. This covers these stories: Burlington Love, Nightfall's Daily Life, Part of the Family. Burlington Love shorts. Is Becky's attempt to seduce Lloyd by all the lessons she's learned from this TV program she clearly should not be watching at her age.
No. Any other anime, well, not any other, a lot of other animes would do this seriously, but this is a small child who is attracted to a grown man, and the grown man has no fucking idea, and it's as awkward and stupid as you think it is. She thinks letting her hair down and then swishing it around will attract his attention because that's how it works in her fucking romance dramas, and it's like, no, you're a small child just swishing your head. Yeah.
Have you forgotten that you're 7?
But the fantasy scenarios where it's her and Lloyd, and just the sheer size difference, it's just like, no, you're like a little tiny.
Well, I'm your new mammy now. Oh, that's really weird. But we had to go to school together. But then again, gourmet desserts chefs. Okay.
So Anya's slightly in favor of this. Is like this. It'd be weird going to school with my mom, but tasty food. That does sound pretty good.
Well, let me tell you about a limit comic I have to call High School Family.
The
Dearly Departed covers many such issues like this.
I do like that Becky is at the it's not so much Becky's thoughts are like just completely bizarre. Where at one point Anya can only see emoticons coming out of her head. But the clear visuals that she has of like Trotskying herself into photographs of the family I was just like, Banya's like, yeah, okay, I see where you're going with this. Good stuff.
And then the punchline is that Yor thinks that Becky's drunk and rushes her to hospital.
Because she's acting. It's like, oh, I've drank too much.
Oh,
I'm so
having
tipsy.
a faint. Ooh.
I must put alcohol in the child's tea. Jesus Christ, alcohol poisoning is no joke. I know I've alcohol poisoned people before. I need to get you to the
You gotta
hospital.
pop your stomach. Oh, we get hit by a car. We'll just keep going though.
They gotta have a little bit of good animation of Yor being hit by a car, tossing her Becky into the air, like doing a roll from getting hit by the car, perfect landing, catching the child, and keep on running. I was just like, fucking hell.
And then she learns that Lloyd was attracted to Yor because she's strong. So Becky tries to show off to Lloyd on one of those fairground hammer machines.
Strength testing, yeah.
Yeah, strength testing. When we hit the hammer, it makes the thing rise up and hit the bell. Yeah.
Which obviously she can't do because she's a 6-year-old girl. But
then
pick
up the fucking hammer.
Does it one-handed and destroys the machine.
Ruins a man's business.
Again, Yor's trying to be like a solid help to Becky here. She's like, you wanted to win a prize to give it to Lloyd. Absolutely. I'll help you out, Becky. No worry. You want to give him the top prize. Let me just like assassinate this machine. No problem.
And then she's going to train her how to be strong.
When the bodyguard comes back and Yor is teaching her how to kill a man, essentially. Just punch. We'll start with punching. We'll work our way up to stabbing. Yeah.
And then the second half is about the other love-struck lunatic in the show. It is Nightfall's daily life.
Again, in another anime, Lloyd would be the main guy in a harem and that kind of situation. It's like, no, he's not.
just this amazing montage, like just in the middle of it, like, no, it's all kind of shots from where he was away on the cruise ship, doing all of like, all the, things that, but then it kind of mirrors her, like, I wonder what he's doing right now, and she's out fucking killing people, all the shots. He comes out from the wardrobe, with all the fucking tourist gear on him, and shit. She comes out, she's tooled up, ready for one battle, covered in blood. It's just like
like there was no 1-for-1 for the point where she was riding an alligator, but other than that, yeah, she was always doing something
training
related.
As well, yeah.
And then she's given a souvenir from the holiday, and
it's not even like we picked a souvenir out for you. It was like we had a souvenir left over from when we gave out all the other souvenirs. Here you go, a gift from me to you. And she's like, well, I'm going to fucking die happy now because you've given me a gift specifically for me.
I'm just going to skip down the hallway with the same, like, severe stone-faced expression I have on all the time.
It was a very funny visual. Yeah, just like just entirely like the love hearts in the eyes, but like the entire serious face and the skipping is just great stuff.
And then episode 37, Part of the Family, we get a recap of all the secrets of all the 4 main characters are keeping from each other. And then we get
the dog
exciting adventure with Lloyd and Bond, and the struggles of a super intelligent dog not being able to communicate with a super intelligent human, and vice versa.
I can see the future, but I cannot express that in any way to anyone else except the psychic child, obviously. Other than that,
So they do a bit of training, which involves attacking Frankie in the park.
Yep.
Because how to disarm a guy? Go for the arm. Very simple.
Right, to save a child's ice cream, but knocks over the ice cream in the process. He's like, then we gotta buy the kid triple ice cream and make up for it. Try to prevent an old man getting hit by a bicycle. The way it was
like the kid getting the ice cream, like it presents as like, oh, the child is going to be sad. I must save this child from being sad. But then you see the child with the other kids is like, I got 2 scoops. Fuck you guys. And the other kids are like, fuck you, man. What the fuck? So he's being a shit about it. So he totally deserved getting his ice cream knocked over. Like the old man didn't need to get hit by a bicycle, but he gets partially attacked by a dog. So that's not great either for his constitution.
Yeah. I can't intervene. I can't intervene for justice anymore. Otherwise, I could get sent to the pound.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's a fire and somebody's trapped inside the building. How am I going to do this? By pretending to smell the fire. This is where Bond's intelligence has kicked in. He realizes if he acts like he can smell something, this is the way he can get Lloyd to follow him to places.
He does communicate at one stage where Lloyd's like, no, we're not going any further. What's going on? And he just kind of gives him a look and barf at him. And he's just like, oh, that's a serious barf. Okay,
well,
something's up.
He sees the smoke. It's okay. I gotta get in there. We gotta react because, like, no, obviously you can smell somebody like inside in the flames. If I go in, oh, it's a little puppy doggy, little fucking little puggy dog. It's like, okay, sis, you one of your own people was in here. You need to come in and rescue. I understand that. You gotta get out of this building. You just said, let's do it the coolest way possible and just burst out through the window after saving multiple times.
Yes, before that, Bond does save him from falling through a hole in the ground.
A hole that's about to be in the ground.
It's amazing you can still smell these things that mixed all this smoke.
Yes, that's right.
And Lloyd does the thing of gathering some oxygen from the floor into a bag because they're about to run through a heavily smoked area. And I was just like, I feel like I wouldn't have time in a fire. It's like, where's the plastic bag? You know, because I can't find those on a regular day. So
they get out. Oh my goodness, a spark is on Bond, so they got to put him out, which then reveals how skinny he is underneath all that fur. And Lloyd tries to not laugh at him
because he's a hero. And also Lloyd is a very fucking serious character, but he's also like, that is very fucking funny. Even me, the most serious spy ever, is just like, that's pretty good.
But then Bond spots the arsonist and goes after him.
Their handiwork.
He was part of the fire department. He likes setting fires and then I guess putting them out a little later. But yeah, also they're trying to avoid this one guy who spotted them saving a puppy. And it's like, this is she's like, oh, that's Mrs. What's her name's puppy. And they're like, okay, if you could get that to her, we'll be back to you in a minute. While we gotta tackle this arsonist, and it's a good thing all his lighter fluid fell out of his bag, because then Twilight can go like, hey, you must have smelled his lighter fluid and stuff from the fire, and that's how you linked him to the fire. Bond, good job, but you bit him in the leg and he nearly stabbed you. I told you to go for the fucking arms.
Yep, no, I fucking look back. You say you found it's always better to go for the limbs. Limbs, you said.
He did.
You didn't tell which limb. Don't be fucking changing the rules of this now, Lloyd. Partway through, a good dog. Caught the criminal.
Yeah, and he's also like, and why do you sound different, Bond, when you're thin?
But it's a valuable lesson, all this, and like it's just like, hey, he's like one as I got trained to be like, a spy dog, you'd be some utility, but he recognizes like one saying, well, this dog serves another purpose here, and don't be going doing dangerous stuff because there's a little someone at home who'd be really sad if something happened to you. And I got a little mystery there, but saying, go through all the little scenes there. Just where she kind of buries her face in his back. It's like, that's pretty adorable.
And then when they get home, Anya's plot has been that she's trying to do origami, and Yor's trying to help her, and Yor turns out to be even worse at origami than Anya is. Anya successfully manages to make some origami stellar stars. And then when she reads the minds of Lloyd and Bond and finds out what they did, and not what they said they did, she gives them stellar stars for working super hard on their walk.
She knows that they were on a secret mission to save the world and save lives and make the world a better place. But she can't admit that to them. But she can be a small child giving them a small paper star. So that's fine.
And then we get like a montage of all the other characters doing some fun things over jazzy music to wrap this half the season up.
Will we ever understand each other? Maybe.
Probably, yeah.
It's come and gone again so soon. I think a lot was looking forward to that cruise arc, and it didn't let down in the department. No. I wanted to really go for. It was cool. It was
Give yours something to do, so that's
Game
nice.
of that's it now as well. Like, and even like even Taylor. Let's not forget about the dog. He actually has besides being a comic relief dog, he got a little touching part of his family. Because remember how we got him. He had that vision of the future, the family he was going to live with when he was still in that cage. It's like I'm going to be okay, little buddy. You're going to make it. Yeah.
We got Bullbuster, episode 12. Rise, Bullbuster. All-out war between Namadomi and Shiota. Which will prevail? The big business's logic or the small business's guts?
God, I love these titles.
It's going above and beyond. Like, there's not even fucking Toei shows. It's going all in with this.
So this is one of the ones which I watched at the height of my COVID, and I've got the vague outline of. I know the ending has stuck with me because it's pretty great in that the guy who's the real villain kind of gets away with it just because he's handsome and charismatic, and they can't.
He gets a slap on the wrist, essentially.
Yes,
like barely a slap on the wrist.
Move to a different department, and the guy who is in the middle is the guy who has to take the fall.
That's why he had that nervous tick with his knee the whole time. He knows it's like I am not high enough.
In the firing line,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's high enough to be blamed, but not high enough to get away with it, basically.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fucking shit that's going on. It's like we got like 2 days, less than 2 days now. After we prep everything to go and just like enact the plan. We're going to phone. We got fucking objectives. We got to neutralize any monsters over there. We got to plug the hole. We got to put a fence around this thing. We got to fucking like get all this stuff in place before the deadline expires, like tomorrow morning. So it's gonna get our asses in gear. And we got it all planned out, but shit keeps going fucking wrong, and the god is like one. Scrape by their fingernails to get it back on track again.
I mean, like, even with the help of all the islanders, it's a lot because when you have a bunch of freaking giant monsters running around, that's going to cause a bunch of problems. No matter, even if you have 4 fucking robots, it's going to cause you a bunch.
Yeah, just somebody that was really good at that fucking roller coaster of fucking desperation maneuvers there. Like one of them, they're trying their best to hold it back because a giant one, actually a huge one, comes out, and it's a fun. This thing is just fun, wrecking the fucking place all together, and even with all our fucking robots, we can't go back and up, and it's just like we got a fun charge the shot, we gotta get to fucking go, and then it just fucking nope. Just runs out of juice or just misses it, and it's out. It's in the fucking middle of the ocean, and it's like fucking Okino that says like for all my fucking talk about just robots and how it's all going to turn out right. When I think back into it now, I keep fucking fumbling it at the last second. I always fucking drop it whenever it counts. Like, when's it going to happen for me?
Yeah, and him just going the extra thing of firing off the harpoon and take the shot. It's like, but if we do that, you'll be electrocuted too. It's like, fucking do it. I mean, the robot is insulated, but still, I mean, it's not a great idea considering they use the same electrical shot to kill everything in the lake, basically. I mean, they did have to kill that.
Well, there was a lot more in there than they expected to be.
Yeah. Understandable.
Do the old classic, we'll write down the bomb of this, you see one set of eyes, then another set of eyes, and then 100 sets of eyes. Okay.
And the old lad getting coming out of the lake, it's like, hit it now. It's like, but you're still in the lake. It's like, do it. And him kind of going did I make it? And just his tracks barely out of the rippling water that the bodies are starting to pop up in. And I was like, yeah, everything's a really fucking close call in this one.
It was one greatest one that finally was the Kaido, I guess, the fucking the kill shot on this thing, because has to fucking fun wrestle it now and destroy the thing, and in the process is kind of tumbling over the remains of what was her home. Even smashes the fucking doghouse of her dog that was still standing there. It's just this is her one very, very, very fucking unsubtly fun putting her fucking past baggage to rest.
And it's doubly so because we find out that the Shiota had been illegally dumping dogs on the island, presumably to specifically mutate them into animals they could then harvest the brains from, or the cells from, I should say. But so this is she's suplexes a mutant dog into her doghouse to go my past is complete. I've done the right thing here.
Mm.
It's a good character moment for her as well.
Well, these bastards killed her dog, you know. She's got one like the most stakes in this. Fuck the Islanders. I'm the like she's from the island, so she speaks for all fun. What they killed your dog? They killed all their dogs, physically and spiritually.
I do like how essentially when they're confronted by the guy who eventually takes the blame, is essentially their explanation is which is the thing Nabari always wanted them to do, is just do the job they're being paid to do and not worry about the other stuff. And that is what they have essentially done. But then they've also smuggled this coral out so they can get the baldness cure. And I like the fact that Nabari's his point of view is borne out by the end. You've got to take the victory of the thing you are capable of doing and try and do that.
There's things outside of your reach, and if you just do what you do, as in eliminate all the fucking monsters, because that way they have nothing, they've no stake in keeping the island, and that way the island can be given back to the islanders. That's what you can do. So do that.
Yeah, for sure. For when to go down the line, for instance, you wouldn't have gotten this trap. You got like a great fucking robotic advanced engineer who's a bit too earnest, but his heart's in the right place. You got fucking like secretary here who's like this is kind of quiet determination. He gets everybody through the day. You got the accountant who's not afraid to play the bad guy, but he just do it because he loves his place more than anybody else. It's fun going down the line. Everybody's getting their bits. It's like, yeah, that's right. Fun. Some of you kind of fuck ups, but your fuck ups will cover up for each other's fuck ups, and we're all going to be okay.
He gets the it's like, you think you and your 7 employees can stop my massive corporation? It's like, yeah, because they're all fucking great at what they do. They all are essential to this thing. And even him going like, everything on the island belongs to the company now. I'm afraid you're going to have to give us the sample you're clearly carrying in that water cooler there. And he's just like, no, it's fish when I was going fishing. Because the actual sample is in the drone that the old mechanic guy brought. So even he was essential to the plot.
Yeah.
Good stuff. It's not on the island. It's floating above the island. So technically it doesn't belong to your corporation.
Yes, the smug git who's got away with it has also got away with some of the coral there.
Yeah, he has. But even your man singer was like, "Oh, we'll fight you wherever you are." And it's like, you're a very small company. I'm not sure you could do that. But maybe we'll see the sequel if there ever is one. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe in future novels that may well not get.
But you do see like his kind of thing. It was just like, I've gotten away with everything. I'm just being relocated as a punishment, and I'm going to go to America and continue this problem again. And he's still like, son of a bitch, he fucking got me.
Or he immediately gets stopped by a sniffer dog when he reaches America.
You fucking hope so. But like, the fact that some guy who was considered a failure and his 7 employees, who the corporation is just like 7 guys, who gives a shit, beat an entire corporation, is just like, yeah, you're not so fucking secure in your victory now, are you, fucker?
No, their victory was constantly trying to figure out a way to get a victory out of defeat as well. From their that was Shiota's problem, is that they constantly, the thing they were trying to do didn't work, and then it caused a problem, and then they were trying to figure out how can we make
how do we
rise to
victory?
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas it's just like, no, you fucked up this island. Like, that's it. Can't get out of this one, lads.
And the coral's working because we get a close up of a few hairs growing on Kazakh's forehead.
Little pinch of them.
As a hope to the future.
This is the smile I wanted to protect.
Then we got Jujutsu Kaisen episode 46, Metamorphosis Part 2, and 47, Shibuya Incident, Gate Close.
Let's lay down all the evil plot here, but we're going to try and fight him off a little bit more. But he's obviously not all our best ones are fun or curtains here. He's absorbed Mahito because in this body with Geto's technique, it's just like, well, any cursed spirit that I absorb, which is a cursed technique, I get to keep it essentially, and kind of enemies get it. So thanks for fun fighting him, and letting him fun kill all your friends and really traumatize you, and then when you fight him back for your fury, and it kind of makes him fun back even harder, because now his technique is like Geisha perfection, like a fine whiskey. My kind of cronies are here as well. Urame, they're freezing everybody. no one get a fucking licking on this guy. I got all of like the class from Kyoto come by. They're all trying to fun dropping at Naman. That's like dude with the katana doesn't want to do nothing.
He's lying down pretending to be knocked out from as much as this as he can manage. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all for it until Yuki Tsukumo shows up, you know, that are like, you know, the blonde lady with the motorbike was always like, got some radical ideas about what we should do with cursed spirits and all that. Was like, well, if we've heard your way, well, we got to stop the cursed energy altogether. Now we'll try it my way, and we'll just double down on it. I gotta use my thing. I've done my cast my fucking spell over like the entire like protective barrier over Japan, and certain people I've marked over my long life, I've popped between bodies with this brain of mine. Now going to like, you know, happen one or two ways. Either going to kind of reincarnate a spirit from the past, or they're going to awaken to their latent cursed technique ability. I'm going to have a big death match. We're going to make them kill each other. I'm going to find out who's the best. And
the thing of him saying is just like, I've awakened 1,000 sorcerers, and they're like, that's not that many considering the population of Japan. And it's like, I'm going to make them fight to the death. It's like, are you sure they're all going to fight to the death? Because it seems like some of them might work together or have their own thing going on. And because we know where the comic goes, it's like he sets up a whole situation in which they have to fight to the death. So great. Yeah.
And then kind of overall the scene, like, you know, from the visit that to kind of the very the kind of downfall of looking like, you know, normal society, really. As like, you know, now like normal everyday people are being exposed to like things that are beyond their mortal ken.
Yeah, you have the guys in government who is like, considerable portion of government has been taken the fuck out. Are we going to reveal cursed spirits to people? It's like, I think we're going to have to tell people. It's like, yeah, it's cursed spirits. Sorry, lads.
What about the economy, though? What about the economy?
And it's kind of represented between these very the Dark Knight kind of like talking heads things, or checking in on what a regular person thinks of this. A lot of people are just like, is that a movie or something on the news, and not really thinking of it, and then a monster jumps through the entire building and eats them. It's just like that happens several fucking times.
Yeah, I
kind of darkness at the middle of the city, like spreading outwards, where it's just like more and more of society is falling to this fucking terror.
Yeah, I kind of like seeing it this way. We're seeing again, it's a very kind of gradual thing. Like people are still like going into the office like the next day or after and saying, "Man, if I hear about thing that happened in Shibuya, I found some fucking shit, right?" And
it's nothing to do with them because it's still far away now. That kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really kind of like it's just kind of very gradually just kind of setting in, and then the fun is completely like we come on to like a small girl foraging for whatever food is left in a combini, and then there's like an obvious ghost outside saying, "Come outside! I'm not going to eat you. Totally, I totally won't eat you." That's okay, but we sent our best man Yuta Kotsu from hit film Jujutsu Kaisen 0 in cinemas last year, whatever year it was.
He's here to save the little girl and also kill the main character of this show, because we see all the death sentences that it's just like, hey, go to fuck it up. If anyone's sorry, not Gojo.
Gojo's one locked up. If anyone tries to unseal him, he's dead. If he gets out, he's dead. Also, executions are back on fucking Suguru Ghetto. Now we know he's still around, and for Itadori because he's the host of the worst demon of all time.
So yeah. Oh, also the principal egged on the entire situation. We're pinning it all on him. Kill the principal of Jujutsu High. And it was just like, fucking hell, man. This is a real downer.
Yeah, it is. It's, you know, I kind of again like it in a way. That's how far I was willing to go with it. So it's like, yeah, we're going to really kind of just really fucking show you like, you know, what kind of the knock-on effect of one domino effect this would be like. Let's say what if that shit always did happen in fucking like in New York City, like in Marvel Comics? What would be the fucking fallout from that? You know, that's just like, you know, really just take one such massive incident like that and see what the outward effect would be. And just what he himself has done is just like, you know, here's like, you know, the lid of something that the sorcerer community has decided trying to kind of keep the lid on from the rest of the normal world for fucking how many centuries now. He's fucking rips it off, all the foil, it's all done. You know, I said, nope, it's all off now. Everyone fucking knows about this. I'm just going to pour it all out because I want to see what the next fucking evolution of humanity is going to be, like using cursed energy. Because I mentioned
get the thing in this, like, and it comes across later on as well, that he doesn't care if he comes out of this okay, as long as this is like, I just want to see what happens, or I don't even need to live to see what happens. I just want something to happen after this, because it's just been, society's just been maintaining itself under this illusion that there's no ghosts and there's no secret people protecting you from ghosts and them dying horribly constantly.
Yeah.
What'll happen if I do it differently? Yeah.
And it's interesting that the boss found this situation. It's interesting too. It's just Japan that's like this. Like there's only
Japan's
kind of
worse for it. Yeah. They
there's
got
only
the
very
most
small
cursed
little
energy.
very scattered occurrences of anything that would involve anything approaching what's so much. This whole like so much from fucking community society got set up here. It just seems to be just unique to this here because everything there's so much more cursed energy. I guess people are much more negative and fucking down on themselves here. I don't know.
It's kind of the Bleach problem of
what happens when you die and you're not from Japan? Where do you go?
Yeah. Well, which I guess he's
Bleach,
covering now with Burn the Witch.
Yeah. They also mentioned that country as they zoom out over, like, what's clearly the continental United States is interested in using in like getting involved with this.
Yeah, because one of the things they say is like, hey, that she says to him is that that'll be a massive power source, and that country fucking loves fucking invading places and trying to steal their fucking thing. It's like, the United States, the big empire that likes invading and stealing shit. I mean, they don't say it, but they do hover over a map of the United States while they're fucking doing it. But yeah, just saying is like how much you're going to throw shit out of whack. But it is the thing of, I guess, like you said, Brian, like the problem of it's written by a Japanese person, set in Japan. Japan's the main character as well. It's just like it does need to be more important than all the other countries.
I think I like Kitaro's approach of there's the Japanese yokai, and then there's the Western yokai, and then there's these other yokai.
And sometimes there's interaction between them. That's okay.
Yeah, and it's just the acknowledgement that yes, the supernatural world does extend beyond Japan's shores. I think it works in Jujutsu Kaisen more than it works in Bleach, because Bleach annoyingly has like hints of other countries and then never goes into any detail about it.
It spends most of its time in the Japan afterlife, so it doesn't really have much time to, I guess, yeah.
Then we've got Dr. Stone, New World, episode 22, Beyond the New World. Get that boy up and running again, and then we're going to go to space. And then we're going to draw all our scars back on.
As a mark of respect, because Senku didn't heal up because his design is too good with the scars. I mean, he wasn't frozen for long enough for him to heal up from the scars. But they're all just like, all right, we'll wear our scars until we figure it out. Taiju does not remember what his scars look like, which is my favorite joke. But everyone else has a pretty good idea.
It's always going to go commando, just to...
Yeah, just the fingers crossed. Yeah.
That's pretty tough, and I can respect that. We got big plans now. Actually, so the design team has asked for a globe. They've got maybe the fucking planetarium over here. But anyways, it'll help. we gotta go global. We need cities. We need people. We need resources, and we need them how? Because we gotta get into space. We gotta do it quick.
And the other thing there that I think it's Gen pointed out, or someone pointed out too, Gen, I can't remember, that they go over the what's the threshold? 150 people or something like that.
Yes. Dunbar's number.
That's the one. Yeah. And I was just like, then it's going to get complicated, isn't it? It's like, it's going to get very complicated.
Then says, well, there won't be any complications, will there? Because they can talk to me about it. She's like, oh, yes, Tsukasa, you tell them. Oh, Lord.
I do appreciate when Tsukasa they're doing the waking up Tsukasa. Obviously, they spend a bunch of time with his little sister, because that's like a big part of his plot and everything. And it's like, we got to hold his hand tight because we only got a little bit of fucking juice left in our petrification device, because it didn't spread as far when he hit Ibarra with it before. And it was just like, okay, so it's probably going to go maybe a couple of inches if we get lucky. So hold his hand really tight, even though it's made of stone. We'll all go in on it, and I guess if we all turn to stone, we have the cure for it now, so we're grand. But when he wakes up, it's just like a little bit with his ostensibly girlfriend, who's like, I would also like to be a part of this, even though I don't want to interfere with the family stuff. That's how it is. But then a long extended sequence between him and Senku is just like,
What's going on? It's like, that's him. He's just like, he wants to know what the situation is. Would you would have woken him up unless something big has been big development in there.
Something dire is happening, and it's like, oh man, Tsukasa, he's always cool. He's always got it together. And Singer's like, we're going to the moon. Tsukasa's like, I'm sorry. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he loses his cool for like a half second, but other than that, yep. You need a strong guy to go fight something on the moon. No bother, I'll do that. Yep.
We also get the Ryusei declaring his love for all women and all men.
Hey, whoa! I don't discriminate. Like, everyone should belong to me, and therefore everyone. So
I want them all. Okay, but
yeah, because them trying to keep Ryusei away from Tsukasa, whereas they're like, hey, we've introduced currency. This guy has, and Tsukasa's like, fucking what? It's like, move the fuck away.
Stop flashing the cash. We got a socialist in here.
No, he's a good capitalist somehow. It's the only one.
We'll learn this somehow later.
Are you telling me this cartoon is unrealistic somehow?
Much further down the line. So yeah, they set off in a boat to get some corn in America. What could possibly go wrong? As we head into our final season, which I assume they'll need 3 cores to.
They don't need to. There's like definitely 3 distinct sections I can think of at least.
Yeah.
Comprised this. And I know definitely what one breakpoint is going to be. It has to be.
Yes.
At a point when they're all taken up right now.
Yep. And that I was thinking that might be another opportunity to do like a one-off special as well, similar to the episode of Ryusei.
Oh yeah.
But we will see. Because when they said final season, I think people were going, "Oh my goodness, they're going to rush it." I was like, "No, this was a season which was 2 cores. I'm pretty certain they can run to 3."
Yeah,
and it is all one. It is a one big arc, and it does. This is where you start noticing even more as
it's accelerating.
Accelerates along with the science.
Yeah, and like I said, if they split it up into those parts, those season partials, like it'll work just fine because that's how the plot is structured as well. It'll be grand.
Yep. Lots of good funny faces, funny drawings this episode. You get to see people drawn as corn cobs. And then we say goodbye to the villagers once again because I don't think we'll be checking in on them all that much.
For a very long time.
We're going global, baby.
Sorry.
Only the most popular ones on the poll. Sorry.
Yeah. Got some new weirdos to meet. And at least one really sensible person, which I like. I like when they introduce people like Nikki, the super sensible, grounded person amongst all the weirdos.
Like, the weirdest thing about her is that she's a pure-hearted girl who's fucking jacked. Like, that's it, and that's not that unusual. Other than that, she's quite sensible and level-headed.
But that's because she's the woman on the power team on the macho.
We need someone sensible on the power team. It's like I think that's why Ukyo lasts so fucking long. It's like we need a straight man to play off all these fucking lunatics, because otherwise it's not going to work.
She tied you too earnest, and Magma is too fucking sinister. So we need Nikki to balance them out.
Talking of sinister, Dark Gathering, episode 24, Scary School Stories, Nightmare, and slightly less sinister, episode 25, Dark Gathering, which is kind of like a project meeting for killing God.
No, we're in the fucking war room now. We're getting like, she fucking calls to the spiritualists, just basically saying, "I'm the sheriff from this town. We're going to get the posse together and take it down this varmint, all right?"
The Scary School Stories does wrap up the teacher ghost. Essentially leaves you either catatonic if he puts his candle out when he finds you, or if you manage to outrun him and find the room full of pigeons with your
the room where he killed himself in a evil ceremony.
Crows. Sorry, yes, crows.
You find your picture, you wake up in the real world.
Yeah.
So it's all good. So let's go to that room in the real world and see what's there. Oh, a horrifying nightmare. A giant malformed brain that the teacher is like absorbing into, has been absorbed into, is growing from him. I'm not sure. It looks gross. Whatever.
Okay, I'm going to chomp him down. We'll like exercise him now because everyone's saying you were pushed too far, man. You were made something you weren't meant to be. You fun just I hated those kids, but I lashed out at everybody. I just wanted to die. Everyone's saying that's okay, man. I feel that you can go off here. Whoa, Hungry Ghost is evolving. Dun, 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 dun. He's got a sweet robe back. Okay.
And he grew a beard despite still being a skull-faced man. But other than that,
one more battle. Oh, he can talk now as well. Man, he's got so many powers. Fun. Jeez, he was pretty hench to begin with. And he's not even done. Oh yeah.
So she finally names him in this one. It's the
soul in transition.
In transition, yeah, that's it. Because I guess she was just calling him the Hungry Ghost up to this point, like we've been doing.
Yeah, like some of us meant like to have like names like the profane monk or the fucking the killer Oiran or that one. They got a title. They're like they have their memories, their essence back. They're like fully evolved forms of fun. This guy, he's like he's just in the middle stages right here. He's fully evolved. He's gonna be a real badass when we get there. So. What we've got now, again, quite the assembly of things here. So, all the kids will wake up, but they either got out of it or they come awake and they're fine. And now they're incredibly scared of crows for the rest of their life.
It's like, don't worry, all those kids who were like caught by the evil teacher ghost are fine. They just have trauma and will go into like catatonic state every time they see or hear a crow. A very common fucking animal.
Part of Dorothy's plan to get the school closed so she can go and have a look at that giant ghost.
But not before she gets to have a conversation with our hero and goes like, "Hey, I'm a ghost." She's like, "Are you a ghost possessing like a little girl?" And she's like, "You got me. I put the little girl in this doll that I got." And she's like,
"Me too."
And I love when we hear each of their thoughts. Yoyoi's thoughts are far more sinister than the ghost's thoughts.
The ghost thoughts is like, if she's lying to me, it doesn't matter. I'll draw her into the fold, and that way we'll have tabs on her, and we'll be able to fucking take her out like that if we fucking need to. Simple as. Very simple. And Yoyoi's like, now I can manipulate them from the inside and take apart their organization.
I'm going to get for names, addresses, funding, location. She's got all planned down. Just like, in the nanosecond it took from meeting her again in the hall, it's just like, and he reads Fawn's face, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking just go for this right. I got fun. Think on my feet now, upon this like, let's slip right now. I'm gonna say I'm kind of this way. She didn't kind of see like, oh, she doesn't seem to open more than this, but perhaps I should invite her in, but maybe I should keep an eye on her. She could be faking it. Is what she'll think. So I'm gonna say this in response. She's got it all fucking taught out to input to go between. It's like, oh, this is really good.
I explained a little bit later in the episode that because she's possessed a child, she doesn't have the full power of an adult's brain.
How does that explain you, Yayoi? Fucking, you're an actual child. What's
well, silly. Remember her. Well, that is a good question because her IQ shot up when her mother got absorbed into the Black Spectre.
Like, part of the suggestions is like, maybe she is related to that giant fucking Spectre of Death or whatever they keep calling that big womb ghost.
Well, they'd at least be step siblings because they're going to have the same mother, aren't they?
Yeah.
Then we get Aiko. She's come to pick Yayoi up, and she runs into the class president and is basically, "You're like me. We get thrills."
Don't make it weird, Aiko. Don't make it weird. But she made it weird. She did the face. She's like, don't do the face.
She did the face. She went, "Oh, you're like me. You're a real sicko who likes fucking getting close to death and fucked up shit. Here's my fucking phone number." And I was like, "Oh my, that makes it worse." But then the small child was like, "I am like you. I am." Like, oh, god damn it! No, fucking.
It's just like you saw it for like, geez, from the scarecrow and when he was gusting torn off by crows. They got something. This is just like, it's so this kind of making me feel chilly.
Of course, the other chill that Aiko got was when the class president asked if she was Yoyoi's mother.
There's something about Yoyoi's design. I think it's since that Oiran episode, especially. Her tits are getting ridiculously big. But I mean, that's the thing that happens.
That was the outfit now, because she had this like weird, like it was like suspenders,
like a corset type situation.
Like that.
It's weird, yeah.
Coming out like that. I suppose it depends who's animated on. Not Tanaka again.
That's the thing.
He's like, he just got divorced, like, and he's feeling pretty lonely lately.
It is going to depend on the horniness of the animator as well. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, the contrast between it's like her mother, I'm her cousin. I don't like that. But then it's just like, oh no, the actual creepiness, like it bleeds into that.
Yes, I will put your speakerphone as we drive home and ring up Shelby and explain what's happened, and she's going to get together all the spiritualists she can trust. We'll keep an eye on things.
Jeremy, I'm going to be the guy on the inside, and I'm going to point you who to fucking take out. You're going to be my hit squad. Is that cool? Jeremy's like, oh, fuck yeah, now it's on.
Yeah, it's war. We're going to fucking leak all their safe houses, all their members are going to fucking, like, just bring all these pigs down at once.
And then episode 25 is basically them discussing, well, it's partly like, yes, we're going to go to Kyoto. I'm not going to go and check out that ghost that's absorbed my mother like Dorothy wants to do. Let's make a plan. This is what we're going to
do. We're getting all the mid-story power-ups here, because like Hungry Ghost just evolved, so he's going on like that. Look at Eiko showing, well, I held on to this ghost, I trapped it in fucking like basically ballistic gel like that, and just like it's kind of made this kind of like a reusable like substitute thing like that. But the ghost phone saying, you may reuse me, that's actually really cool. Phone saying, yeah, I thought you'd be more trouble about the fact I trapped like an innocent girl's like kind of like spirit inside of her. Like she, I don't know, it's cool. Okay.
She thinks it's a really
I thought you'd say that, so I ordered like fucking 100 of these. I got them 3D printed. We got boxes of these things. We'd use them over and over again. It could be handy if we're going to be like fighting against a god,
So essentially, their plan is that they're going to haunt Kyoto, but the damage they do to Kyoto will be transferred via a sigil onto the god.
We're going to mirror force his ass.
Yeah, they're basically going to turn the god into like the god will be the equivalent of one of their little dolls, where the damage done to Kyoto will be done directly to the doll, in this case, the god. So we just have to make this specific mark that I've made in a very specific way on him, and the ghost that can cut you and you can't recover from, that'll be a really handy one in that situation. So we'll get her to carve that into the god. Then he'll be the doll that represents the city. And then we can fuck up the city by putting a pentagram of ghosts around it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Sometimes I think you're the bad guy. It's like I get this funny fucking inclination.
No, it's just like we're going on this fun, like basically we're doing what they fucking would like what they do in fucking Jujutsu Kaisen. But it'll be okay because we're going to like fun parry that again, deflect it. It's all gonna land on this other dude's head instead, and the city will be, and all landmarks will be saved.
Also, wasn't this cameras also everywhere? Eiko's putting lots and lots of cameras in her boyfriend's room.
Like he's becoming aware of all the shit they've been up to. Like they do show him the ghost house. It's like, don't worry about the hanging guy. He's harmless. This is where all the ghosts are going to live. It's like, hey, I'm going to put security cameras all up around the house because they do know where we live now. And they are going to be like presumably coming in here trying to find that modified hand.
And we're going to put a bug in the arm. So when they do come and guide, we're going to track them wherever they're going to.
We're going to take the other arm with us. But obviously the twist is that it turns out that our possessed spiritualists decide that they're going to Kyoto and take care of this god themselves because they don't want it harming their
fucking up our plan.
Ghost.
Wasn't the pentagram around the city? And I don't know if it was. No, that wasn't Kyoto. The was it Bakamatsu boys?
Yeah.
They had a pentagram around the city as well. Like this is a common thing that happens.
This is a common thing. Yes,
it's an Onmyoji like
fun as well.
Well, let's not forget poor old Ai in all this, because she's the one who seems to be like she's in hospital in Kyoto. She's going to be the epicenter of wherever that god is. So we want to we're just going to go visit our friend in hospital. We got to tool up to fight fucking a deity himself. Before it's saying like it's just kind of nice too because like it's interesting kind of contrasting her as well, but like we're seeing Fuko and Undead Unlock, basically had the exact same kind of similar problem here. Is that they're unlucky to everybody else around her and gotten like people killed. Like she derailed the train just last week, and that's why she's in hospital now. Like,
but the fact that her friends are still willing to come visit her, that's something to look forward to. That's nice.
Unfortunately, I got one of the worst possible nightmare you could have of the fate that awaits you. This terrifying vision of going through the whole thing, like losing your sense of self and feeling like I'm being transmuted into something else. It's just like, what's my face gone to? Oh wait, no, it's good. It's still there. Yes, that fucking like paper talisman with the eye holes cut out that I've always had for her face. That's right.
That's not, and it obviously her friends coming to visit her are her friends coming to start a fucking ghost war. But other than like that, it's just like, we can't have anything nice. This show end on a nice note. It has to be like everything's gonna get really fucked.
Well, it's a minor fun stakes that everyone are in this. It's like here it is now, but this is like the fucking gruesome fucking end that awaits her when her very soul offered up in like for sustenance to this god for all of eternity until he takes a new like heavenly bride. So we're gonna fucking put all in, like we're gonna fucking like fucking ghost nuke this place and put it all on him if that's what it takes. And these other guys are coming along as well. It's just like, we're getting our mid-story power-ups here. But when Kate Turvey's put together, like, you know, the fun Ghostbusters ghost trap now, so we just put a little thing in the cage and just kind of deploy it out and just yank it back in.
So they can deploy the really, really dangerous, which is all of them, ghosts that they have trapped. It has all the talismans and seals and everything around it already. So once this, like you say, very Ghostbusters trap type situation.
I think he's noticed it's usually him who has to fucking go in there and wrap it back up again. So I'd rather not, thank you.
Better automate some of the process anyway.
Yeah, and even he joins in. We're getting in the car. We're gonna go. Let's ghost, and he's in the back seat, and he joins in for once. He's like, yeah, he's on board. He's in the team now.
Yep. So Volume 5's out in English later this month.
Okay.
But that will only take you up to the soldiers story.
It's one really fun, cool, just like escalation of things just there, and it's just like there's no much kind of, we're not kind of actively hunting down a ghost in this episode of that. It's just like fun. We're just getting the gear together. We're fun getting our gear and our resolve together. We're fun taking this down. We're heading into like, you know, what we always talked about, killing God. Remember those days at the start of the series where people were going to kill a God, and we're finally days arrived.
Well, okay, not going to kill him. They're going to capture him. They're going to find him.
Yeah. Attack and dethrone God.
It's kind of one of the things that makes them more evil. It's like, we're not trying to defeat evil. We're trying to capture evil and use it for our own purposes. And it's like, that's
the thing in episode 24 is like they make it clear that this guy was innocent and he's been turned into this terrible nightmare ghost by somebody else. So that's why they're not going to eat him. They're going to actually a rare actual exorcism as opposed to capture and deploy. Which is what she normally does.
Or to be fed to some other ghosts to make them stronger.
Yes.
Yeah. A different kind of cruelty. Yeah.
Just left to be tortured in perpetuity.
Well. She's also have your brainstem poked for the rest of your fucking ghostly existence.
Don't worry, it'll fade in a few hundred years. Great.
Right.
Fantastic.
I eagerly await the return of this horror show. But it's been a real fucking trip. I'm really fucking impressed with the turns it's taken now.
Helk, episode 24. Towards a hopeful future. Will Helk feel despair? Willie Hecker's like.
Of course he does. He's been feeling it all the time. That smile is just for show.
Yeah.
That's a secret, Doc. I'm always despairing.
I really like this episode because it's Vermilio who gets the character development, and she's the one who makes the decision. We're not going to kill all humans. We're going to save them.
Option C.
Yeah.
And you think my mate's dead? No, he's always dying. I never believe he dies because he's.
You don't remember the start of the show where it was introduced as he nearly fucking died and could die at any stage. Look at him all bandaged up and constantly spitting up blood. It's like, that's just who he is, man. He's always getting fucked up. Don't worry about him. I'll believe he's dead when I see the fucking corpse. That's the only way you can convince me. Basically, you're not going to cause me to despair. No,
he's our fighter.
It turns out he is fine. I mean, fine is very relative. He's completely fucked up again.
He would be better if people didn't leap onto his bed to give him a massive hug.
Probably, yeah.
So Helk ends up giving Alicia a hug rather than killing her, and Vermilio explains, to the Duke is like he's saying this can't be fixed. This is how it's going to be, and she's like, That's nonsense. Look, Elk had conversations with one of his friends who turned into a monster. She doesn't know that guy's fallen in love with one of the monsters. That suggests even further that they're not just. And the fact that the Duke doesn't then fight her on that and turns away and walks away, I was like, oh, I bet he hopes that's true as well.
I think he's stuck in this situation. Like a lot of it's just like, I gotta do this. That's why he gave Helk and herself an out at the start of the last episode. It was like, you can just fucking leave and live the rest of your life peacefully. Just fucking go. I'm not gonna fucking chase you or nothing.
Well, the only other human being in that country who hasn't been monsterized is his own daughter, who's been locked in the tallest tower. Like,
so he's like, I gotta do it. It's my daughter, man. Like she's
ostensibly been she's the one, like, kind of effective for this because I used her magic to spread this thing to begin with. But it's still his daughter. He's still got, like, some skin in the game here, real skin.
Yeah. But he's not committed to the cause, as it were. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like the big dangling thing from the end of the series is we haven't really gone back to Asta and her halfway to find out how they're doing before this episode wraps up.
Yeah.
Because the next episode is like, oh, we're going to go to Shane Castle. We'll go meet up with Azadora, and Pee-wee can introduce himself to her. Oh God, Pee-wee, the bird. He's going to die when he goes to the Demon Empire. And Pee-wee's like, I'm not a bird. But yes, we better do that. So they prevent Helk from turning bad if he was ever going to go bad. Probably not.
I think it was the main thing of her going like, you know what, fuck this, we're saving all humans, and her getting like the really cool hero moment, and him basically like crying and kind of going like, thank you. Yeah. That's kind of what I needed to fucking hear, honestly.
Yes, he's like, I need you to tell me earlier on that after we killed all the humans, we'd be welcome in the Empire, but then I need you to tell me this as well.
Yeah. Because she realizes, like, he'd live in the Empire and he'd smile the rest of his natural life, and he wouldn't be really happy. Like, he would be incredibly depressed, like he is at all times.
He's somebody who's kind of, he's just resolved to do this now. It's like, he's, whenever he fucking meets any of his foreign friends, it's like, I'm just going to talk to him. This will be the last time I might talk to you. Before I have to put you down, man. I'm sorry. And like, sure, the world might be saved, but then he'd have to live with that. He'd have plenty of friends, but he'd know I killed my older friends to be with these ones.
Yeah.
And as she points out, dude, we've been traveling around like in countries that neither of us have ever been to. Like, we've seen things you people wouldn't believe. So who's to say there couldn't be like some kind of bigger spell that could solve all this?
We've seen a race of people turned into a monsters and then turned back again. We helped turn them back again.
We took out the problem and we saved an entire kingdom of people. It's just like, why not save the kingdom of humans? Fuck it. Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, I really liked her speech in this because you compare that speech to how she is at the start of the series.
Yes, she's gone through the most change. Again, it's the thing of the Captain America thing of the Captain America doesn't change throughout the plot. People change around him. Helk changes around the plot when you realize, no, he's fucking incredibly like broken inside. And the smile is entirely a show, but he has been consistent throughout, and he's changing the people around him by people going like, no, Helk sound out. Let's fucking help him out,
It's just her kind of she's getting to his own knees and saying, it's like, yeah, he can do this. Like he can totally fucking like beat these fucking guys and go and take them on. He can do it, and she wasn't afraid of him. If they can be on knees and fun saying, yeah, he could do it, and he's willing. He's ready to go through with it. He's fucking ready to fucking kill to go like that. And the guy I know, I don't want that to happen to him. I don't want him to have to fucking live with that. And it's fun taking it back. Okay, possible future me. Is this what you intended for me to say?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever meet the other two Heavenly Kings in this series.
Really?
I think one of them is.
They were saving him or something. Okay.
No, I think one of them is apparently the main character in the like a spin-off, maybe. It's not really a spin-off set. It's just another series set in the same world. Okay. And I don't think the other one's even had a name yet in any of the series.
Okay.
So
we got our core cast. We're not adding much more to it. Okay.
I don't think we're adding much more to the story.
I mean, we've got plenty of guys to interact with. I did like just the simple interaction of Pee-wee and that woman with the green hair,
Coco,
who also was incredibly high energy. And just Pee-wee's like, whoa, fucking hell, back off. So we can still have good interactions between people. How will Pee-wee react to any given character? That kind of
there's a whole bunch of characters. Oh, he's going to annoy what's her face, isn't he? Super serious.
Hira. That's it.
Or she'll be annoyed by him, but go like, "This thing is fucking adorable. I hate it." You know, that kind of seems to be how she goes. Yeah.
Yeah, good series. Wish it looked better, but this was a good-looking episode. For hell,
they did.
This is like this is like real emotional stuff happening here. Being like, don't want to really undercut it now, do we? But it's doing its job. I'm encouraged to go and read the comic and just take all that in instead.
Yeah, I think that's all out in English, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, okay, excellent.
That doesn't go on. I went up for the I'll just read back over it again.
Currently on sale on Kindle.
Okay.
What you get on it now, folks? What the hell are you waiting for?
Then we got Undead Unluck episodes 12 and 13. Activate Tatiana. Activate and Tatiana.
I mean, you can pretty much sum it up as activate Tatiana, but yeah.
Also activating the other negator on board the ship. Things go to fun hell in a handbasket pretty quickly. It's just fuck it, let's just bust these auction now. Forget these fun mafia goons. This is fun blitz straight through them. There's no point trying to keep things on the down low now.
But through getting fucked up by him, Andy realizes, wait a minute, your power can't kill me, but it can stop me from repairing myself. But if I cut off my limbs in a way that is an attack, which I do all the fucking time, that means I can repair myself, because that's an offset of an offensive thing rather than a healing thing. So therefore, yeah, your ability sucks and it's not going to kill me. So we're taking this new guy, and this is our guy. He's going to join the round table.
Well, I think you're kind of seeing it there as well, is that so many things, there are certain set rules that use now, but some of them as well are governed by the perception thereof of that rule, whether by the user or whether by who it's affected by it. It's just kind of like, it's the power is dependent upon what definition you actually subscribe to as to how it works.
Yeah.
But I suppose there's always scope in there, as you kind of will see later in the story, is that the nature of them can kind of change, because if I kind of think about it this way, I can negate Pla because it can fall under this umbrella.
Andy is the main example of that. There's nothing about I am undead, therefore I can't die. It's just well, how are you having jet propelled blood fucking stumps? It's well, if I chop off my own legs, they have to regrow. And what if they grow with such force that I can propel myself through the air? It's just that has nothing to do with being undead. It's but it works though. It's technically correct.
Yeah. Chikara was watching all this in horror. By the way, this is a kid called Chikara. He was one of the dudes when the kids was up for auction. Just last week, he was just going to school, but everyone was talking English. He's fun saying, Pokemon, Arashi want to egg from the Hongo Wahashi Maska.
I thought it'd be really
come
funny.
On. What's wrong with you, Chikara? Hey, can I borrow your notes? I forgot mine.
This joke has gone on too long. I nearly kind of wish that I liked the dub more, because it would be really fun if you could make a version of this where suddenly partway through a little bit into the series everyone starts speaking English. Or at least everyone who's not a negator starts speaking English. That would be a fun way to do it.
Everyone speaks English, but they keep their accents. I don't know how that works. Anyways, put him in the bag. He's up for auction now.
So his is unmove, but he's too cowardly to use it until Fuko sacrifices herself to save him from Rip's
a really fast scalpel.
Yeah, no, Mr. President. I mean, Andy does it first, but it's oh yeah, I'm not going to really slow it down if it just cuts through everything, and obviously it cuts into Fuko as well with reduced force. But that means that wound won't heal, and that's bad for her. It's not so bad for Andy. But I think the other thing with Chikara is his unmoved, the way he interprets it. If he looks at something, it can't move. pretty simple. As we see him very slowly get away from a guard by playing like red light, green light, basically. But if he moves the way he interprets it, they can move as well. So his knees knocking together, a la a Pop or Usopp type character is like, okay, that's actually a problem with my specific interpretation of my own abilities. Yeah.
But for instance, not many women, many people would take a scalpel for me like that. So this dude on repair, he's been fucking ripping the piss out of me all fucking night and saying, "Oh, cool power, show me about the fucking lame ass piece of shit it's attached to." Oh well, if we kill him, it'll just go to somebody else, and we'll get. Hope it'll like be the cooler dude. If I'm saying, I know I'm not cool, but god damn it, I'm not gonna let anybody else fucking get hurt on account of my inability to act or not be a scaredy cat. Which you kind of think, if only I wasn't like this way, I could still be back with, "Oh mom, oh dad," and he has his mom's hair tie on his own tie, which he's a kind of keep the hair up out of his eyes, because now you get to keep eye contact to keep this power going. Fun saying, yeah, get that mop out of the way.
I love the fact that his cool thing is to tie up his hair in a very stupid looking way so he can see you better.
And stop bullets.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And then in Tatiana's episode, we get her origin story, and then she blows the ship up at the end.
That's a very gross simplification. But basically, yeah.
But I guess the fun emotion of the grass and just stop hopping around and tying her, because it's just like going like to Vicious Fun. She was the one who was saying to Fun pick up the body after the fight with Gina. And the Fun saying,
and she had the coffin with like Fuko's name already printed on it, and she's kind of like,
This was fun, yeah, just like that. She Fun punches him out, when they first met, and Fun to go sell it then in the danger room. It says if you can fucking I'll respect you and I'll let you on. I acknowledge what you had to do if you fucking beat me in the danger room. Before and push it too far, and his naked fucking body is smeared all over her camera lens.
Well, initially Tatiana pushes it too far, where she nearly kills Fuko, who's just standing at the side, and that causes Andy to go, now my chance to get you, and like tackles her with his dongle right in front of her ostensibly eye. And everyone's like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And he's like, "What? I haven't done anything yet." Why is she freaking out?
Why is she going nuclear? Well, fucking this is the important thing. That's meant to fucking keep all our fucking power in. We gotta evacuate off a 5-kilometer radius right now. Otherwise, everyone that space is gonna be fucking dead and fucking blown to smithereens.
So they're rearranging the base just to get it out of the way of the fucking explosion. But Fuko refuses to let go in exactly the same position Andy was in. Another thing, but it's not her dick wangling in the face. It's her love wangling in the face. It's like, no, I'm not going to leave you like this. I'm going to fucking hang on to you because it's my fault she got killed. It's my unluck that got her killed. It's me you should be mad at. And that kind of opening up gets Tatiana to calm down. And she opens up to Tatiana. She meets her in a room. She's really nice to her. She never judges her for being trapped in a robot shell kind of thing. Fugo's really fucking cool. It's just like, well, fuck. Okay. You guys are trying to take out my girl Fuko in the present day. I'm going to fucking automatically release. Everyone get the fuck out of my way.
So you guys are arguably kind of we see him side by side. Car had that fun saying, it goes like that. And then, gets the fun unmove. But Tasha's one of those fun was way more intense. It's just like, it's just fucking, I'm fucking powering up. I'm turning into a fucking being of pure energy right here, and so I'm gonna fucking go out like that. Untouchable. Shazam.
Yes. Creed loses an arm.
Because Creed and your man are doing really well against her, because it's just kind of like, because he keeps making infinity grenades and whatnot and just holding her back, and obviously martial arts can do anything. But yeah, they can't really do anything about like an expanding, impossible to pass force field. So yeah, Creed loses a whole fucking arm, but gets away. And I assume like half the ship is taken out by the look.
Well, yes, because this is the end is like Andy, Fuko, and Shikara now floating in the sky, and they can now see Rip and Latla, who are also floating in the sky because there's no boat underneath them anymore.
They've been exploded out of a boat. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, I see you now, fucker. Oh, you're fucked.
Yeah. Like across these, you're kind of seeing like the two sort of bits it's good at, which is they think very hard about how these negation things kind of work. When kind of if you can't cancel all this, what would happen in this case? Well, obviously, of course, this would happen. So you can see that kind of Latlas can somehow kind of like deflect like things away from her. So he tries it out. What if I kind of fling the blood into her eye and I'm blinded her 50 seconds? What would the effect be then? It's still a miss, but she still got the blood on her. So okay, you can't deflect everything like that.
So and she deflected the attack, but not the getting messed up with my blood, which wasn't technically an attack. It was just getting gross, basically.
Yeah. So while it goes over the rules into cool shonen battle thing, it also kind of does things about her as well. Yeah, that would actually be an incredibly fucking debilitating condition to have. Because for one thing, if you're untouchable, you've just fucking like blasted all your family away from you, and nobody can kind of get close to you if they want to touch you.
No, unless you make a 2-foot long cake bar.
Yes.
God, yeah, and we do get the reveal Billy has been blind the entire time. So him saving up to save Tatiana, she's like, just kill me, just put the gun over my mouth. That's the one bit I need air to come to me, and I don't push that away.
Right.
So
if that's what you want.
If that's what you want. I've invented a very long cake just for you. I've made different flavors. You want to try them out? And she's like, holy shit, there's a reason to live. Thank you, Billy. You've saved me. And it is genuinely nice. Like, yeah.
It sets him up as like he's kind of like the elder kind of guardian figure then to know fun. What Andy DeFuco, Billy is a Tatiana, and to have to look at meet cute fun saying, hey, let's just shake hands. Like which a robot hand, because I can't shake you with my one and I got wear gloves. I know how it is. So let's shake hands, and then one day when it's all behind us, we'll fucking shake hands. Fucking real like we're meant to. And then it's the first person ever treated me like an irrational person and not fucking like a giant robot sphere who can't be touched. And outside, Andy is there, like, and Billy is there being cool dudes, fun saying, thanks for doing this, man. Fun saying, hey, I didn't do nothing. It's all Fuko.
Yeah, Billy is played by Rikia Koyama, who plays a lot of these sorts of characters.
Kind of like soft-hearted tough guys that are heart of gold.
Yes, he's the official dub-over artist of George Clooney, Keith Sutherland, and Dwayne Johnson. He's Saijima in Yakuza, and Rie Kugamiya, who's played Tatiana, is Haruka in Yakuza. I was like, okay. This is probably why these two voices talking to each other seemed a little familiar.
I think Tatiana's power suit counts as a traditionally animated robot because she's one shooting off rocket punches like no one's business. And good use of all that eye, like they can do the kind of artistic way where the light glinting off the eye will just be like, it's like she's cute to wing up in the bottom of it. Or they go full on cartoon mode for it's a circle. They're squashed into an angry, frowny circle.
Yeah.
But they're willing to go both ways with it.
And then finally, a new show starting this week. And all the episodes went up this week as well, so it'll be at the front of things if we watch more of it. If being a big if on my part. Pokemon Concierge, episode 1. I'm Haru, the new concierge, in which there's a tropical island where Pokemon go on holiday, and Haru has got a job as new concierge, but for her first day at work, she's told to act like a tourist.
Just relax.
Get a feel for the place, like act like you're a tourist here. What do you get out of it? She can't because she's stuck in that work mindset. Yes, she's had a terrible last couple of 6 months or something like that.
Last week,
that was all the last week. She stepped in gum twice in the last 7 days. Also, her boyfriend broke up with her. But the gum is the thing that really gets to her.
It's a really nice looking show. It's a really nice looking show, but it is so empty of content.
I think it's supposed to be it is definitely going for the absolute fucking chill. It's like, hey, you want to chill and look at some really, really nice looking puppets or not puppets, stop motion models. Yeah. Stop motion models.
They know what the appeal is. They know people are showing up for fun. Did you see is it a Sentret or a Furret? The long furry one anyway.
Oh my god, that thing is so cute.
This is a big part of my problem with it. Is you
don't know the Pokemon. Yeah.
This is the point I realized just how disconnected I am to Pokemon, and I'm like, this is offering me nothing.
I wasn't doing too bad for it, but even I will say the ball is probably going to be able to reach my limit now. Like, I think I've seen like the little monkeys like your man has before, but I know it's like I guess they're like the EV evolution. So you got a fire one, you got an ice one, a plant one, or something like that. I don't know how it works now.
I think
this cute little monkey man.
I think they're from Black and White, and if you pick like the water starter, it gives you one of the other monkeys like to counteract the kind of thing. Like, or it was something like that where that monkey became the exclusive one to your game, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was something like it basically let you so you'd have multiple elemental types early on. But yeah, that's the cutest I've ever seen those guys. What is it? It's either Simi Seer or Panseer. I forget which one's the big one, which one's the small one. There's 1,000 Pokemon. I'm not gonna remember all the fucking names.
And let alone because you can read what the sub is calling. Oh, that's Psyduck. Yeah. No, they call it Golduck because Golduck this.
Yeah, I probably should have tried this in the dub as well, but like I can see that the words are the characters' mouths are miming the words in Japanese, so that's probably going to throw me a bit.
Yeah,
it's very well done. Like it's very well animated.
It's very nice. Yeah, very very small. So it's just like it's very pleasant, but it's not really kind of much to kind of pull you on. You're not going, oh, well, she knows a Psyduck like wandering around in the bushes that may have taken like dancing because she's gotta find her own Pokemon. It's gonna be like a little buddy while she's working here. You want
and
that,
I was also thinking a Psyduck's a good one as well because that's a very you look at its face. That's a very stressed out Pokemon, and she's a very stressed out human. So you need to find a Pokemon like you and fix it, which will also help fix you. And it is a very simple one, but yeah, I get why you're kind of bouncing off it a bit for A, not into Pokemon, and B, like it's too chill for you. Like
yeah, I think that's the other thing is I'm like it's not very long, so
yeah.
They're only like 10-minute episodes.
See, I think the best thing you could do with this is watch the whole thing in one go, look at it as a whole, and think about it and say, well, it was all very pleasant, very, very nice. Not much any kind of like conflict or complication in there. But it was pretty cool to see a fucking slowpoke surfer, didn't you think? Yeah.
The other thing I'm like in design wise, I'm really enjoying is the technology and the computers and stuff. They're all like the
what are those? VTech, like Charles.
I was going to say IMAX and stuff like that, like those big colorful shell, like very round, and the ones where you have see-through colored plastic and you could see the innards of the machine and that kind of thing. I was like, I love that aesthetic. I wish we still had that.
Yeah, I think the other problem I've got, and this is, I guess, not unique to me, but it's probably a niche problem with it, is I've played far too much of the island resort level of Hitman.
So you're just saying ways to murder these Pokemon, is that it?
Yes.
Now pay attention, Pikachu.
Dear.
Constantly on the lookout for targets and sinister underground bases.
Gotta find all you guys want to take out all the types that you guys take an advantage against. I'm saying. Now, you be careful. You're going to there was a rock type. You got to stick it behind and snap its neck because you can't use electric shock on that.
I think it was a DLC. It's well worth getting that Tropical Island DLC for Hitman 2. It was God, that's a good level.
I think I did because it was on offer again. I got that test now it's the World of Assassination, whole big chunk of it there. I think maybe it's something to start the new year off with.
So that's my Hitman related viewpoints on Pokemon Concierge.
Yeah, like I mean, like I kind of the last Pokemon I bounced off of and I haven't really gotten mad into since was the Alola ones, the Hawaii one basically, which I love the designs of the guys, but I couldn't really get into the game and I haven't been able to get into any one of them since. But I still have a considerable portion of my brain dedicated to fucking Pokemon names and shit, so I'm kind of stuck with that, unfortunately.
Why not getting into Pokemon is I couldn't get into Pokemon Gold after playing Pokemon Red. So that's
the opposite problem. I started with Gold and I couldn't get into like the original ones because I was like, man, there's so less content in here.
Yeah, I was like, I don't put breeding Pokemon on me. I don't want to be dealing with that nonsense.
Yeah,
you gotta get the EV levels right, man. Come on.
Yeah. isn't to say that's like that me you can't enjoy like the kind of cartoons a bit because I've watched more than a couple of like the come on Sun and Moon
Sun
ones.
and Moon I've enjoyed. Yes, that's more my energy level. That's
that cartoon's been like beautiful. So
because it has the kind of formula. You're familiar with it's the same formula to have the fact for the one thing all the time, and it's just like oh yeah, well it's a new island, new kind of country, so whatever is new to them is new to me as well. We're all new, so you can kind of go on with it, and you get some fucking kick-ass fucking battles in there.
That's it for this week. Next week, do you want to watch the last 2 episodes of Scott Pilgrim because there's not much else to watch?
If we're having a short week, might as
well.
Yeah,
I think go for it. Like it's been out all this time, and if I is one thing to fun thing, that's why one I'm kind of most wanting to kind of I want to kind of get to the end of that one like soonest.
And we've been very patient in watching it 1 a week.
I want to see if it's fixed, and it's just like there's a lot of ways you can't really undo this now, but they've thought very hard about like fun. They got something like definitive they want to state about this, or like for making this and I've. General accounts I've get is like it does that and then some. So I want to people will do that for me.
And we'll also have Delicious in Dungeon.
Yes, it'll be on
Netflix releasing that weekly, I think.
They are supposed to be, because I think they have the preview up of it. No funds. I think it's on from Thursday and into
14 dubs. So presumably, Trigger hit that 6 month ahead of time deadline that they were talking about, but they were just missing. Hell, Netflix. I think they said the guy said it's like most people say they want the anime 6 months ahead of broadcasting time, but don't hold you to it. Whereas Netflix apparently do hold you to it, and there are penalties if you don't. So that is presumably why they have like 10 plus dubs ready to go when it airs.
Yeah. But you've seen the kind of Trigger stuff is that they don't seem to overextend themselves either. Like maybe 2 things max a year. And
talking of which, I do need to watch that Gridman film.
Oh yeah, jeez, I keep forgetting.
But also as well, Listen Dundon has long been like a manga reader darling for some years now.
Yes.
And it's got a lot of things off from that.
But it's also likely to cross over, I think.
Yes. I think it's more like a release. Here's our kind of stacked fantasy thing, and it's also a food travel program.
Yes.
Fantasy is easy to sell to people than sci-fi is. So.
Yeah.
And it's the old-fashioned D&D where kobolds are dog people. Yeah. All right, here we go.
How do they change? Let's find out. Oh no. I was very worried, like in the back of one of the volumes of one. On volume 1 of one saying, "Oh yeah, here's like like a minotaur who's going to go cook some of those." But then like back in volume 2, we got we got Jelly right here. Orc. No, don't eat orcs, man. Orcs are people. Kenny, orcs they don't count.
I mean, it does come up in the comic and eventually in the show that it's just like, wait, what is people and what isn't? If it's mermaid, is that a fish? If it's what do you call the guys from like Cthulhu who have fish heads but like guy legs?
Like is that a fish?
They don't have this issue so much in Interspecies reviewers.
Oh no, they'll fuck whatever. That's a different thing.
River as a whole, it's a man's job to plunge in.
Right here. On that note, we'll be back next week.
Bon voyage. Bon appetit and